Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Josh with Medtronic Diabetes in Canada, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our education support series that we've put together just for you during this period of COVID-19 isolation in Canada. Our frontline healthcare workers and our essential service workers are doing an amazing job, but this period is a little bit different in some way for all of us. We're all at home more than usual. Our jobs may have changed a little or a lot. Our children may be at home with us, and our diabetes support has changed. So this first video we've put together is just about feeling supported during isolation and some resources that are available to you to help you feel that you have the supports that you need. A couple of important points before we get going. This video is, of course, for informational and education purposes only. If you need medical attention, please go to your healthcare team. Secondarily, for any external website that I speak about today, just know that, of course, Medtronic does not control the content on that website. Essentially, we're going to look at three categories of supports for you today: staying informed, finding the support you need, and also maintaining connections in this period of isolation. First, let's take a look at those support resources. The first of which I'd like to mention is Health Canada. So Health Canada provides our national statistics, current guidance. You can visit the website below, which is the Health Canada COVID-19 page. They have a lot of resources. They have Dr. Teresa Tam, who's recorded a few videos that you may view on there. And they've most recently added a COVID-19 virtual assistant where you can chat live with someone to ask questions about what it is that you're looking to get information on. A specific resource to diabetes is Diabetes Canada, which is a wonderful organization in Canada that has produced and continues to produce a lot of helpful information about diabetes, and they have a specific page for COVID-19 or coronavirus, where they have these great infographics to help you with certain situations. They have general education and awareness. They have some frequently answered questions where you can go on and have some of your questions answered. So if you haven't visited Diabetes Canada yet, I would strongly encourage you to visit this website. There's really a great array of resources on there. Next, another diabetes-specific resource in Canada would be the JDRF Canada. So again, if you haven't visited this yet, the website is at the bottom. They have a coronavirus section of their website. They have updates on type 1 diabetes and supply chain, so updates on making sure that you have access to the insulin and the other items you need to manage your diabetes. They have a section on type 1 diabetes and coronavirus, what you need to know. A lot of this information is influenced by physicians around the country trying to give you the most relevant information. And last but definitely not least, they have a great array of Facebook Live videos presented by healthcare providers across Canada. So I invite you to check out the JDRF website as well. And last but definitely not least is the World Health Organization, or the WHO, which will give you a global look at the coronavirus and updates from across the world. There's general public advice. They also have an interesting section on Mythbusters, and you can see the website below if you haven't taken a look already. And I'll draw attention to a couple resources from each of these websites as we go. First, I'd like to draw your attention to this resource, which comes from the Public Health Agency of Canada, which you can obtain from the Health Canada website. And it's really looking at taking care of your mental health. And in this situation where we find ourselves at home and with a completely changed environment, in a lot of cases, really a lot of people have been asking questions and looking for supports about mental health. And on this particular resource, which is just a 2-pager, there's a lot of helpful information, including a support hotline for people in Canada, one for children as well. There's lots of other things in here, but the website and the information really wants you to know that you're not alone, and it's okay to ask for help if you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or unsure about this situation that we find ourselves in. So this is one really helpful resource. You can see that the web page is listed at the bottom on the Health Canada website. From a Medtronic perspective, certainly the support you'll be getting from your healthcare team right now is all remote or virtual. And to help facilitate that, you'll definitely want to be uploading into the CareLink software if you haven't been doing that already. So what you can see here is an item available on our web page. So that's medtronicdiabetes.ca. If you go into the support section and go into CareLink, there's a number of resources that will help you be able to get to the website, create an account, upload your pump if you've never done that before, and generate your report so that when you have these interactions virtually with your healthcare team, you can create a lot of value. You can be looking at your data from your MiniMed device, and you can have some discussion with your healthcare provider about any management strategies that you might need to implement or to change during this period of very different routine than usual for most of us. The next resource, or actually the next two resources I'd like to tell you about, come from the Diabetes Canada website. So the one on the left is this excellent infographic about preventing supply disruption during COVID-19. So it's making sure that you are not overstocking supplies for your diabetes at home. And it offers support, access to the website, and some general information specific to the period that we're in now. And then also for those of you who might be feeling unwell, and that's not just with COVID-19 symptoms, but also if you're just unwell and live with diabetes, it's really important now more than ever to know how to best manage your diabetes during that time of being sick. So I'd invite you to take a look at some of the resources they have on the Diabetes Canada website, some of which are very specific to being ill or periods of feeling unwell. The last resource I'd like to draw your attention to is one that comes from the WHO. And again, you can see the links for all the resources I'm mentioning on the bottom of the slide. This one is about parenting during COVID-19. So in most situations, children are at home around the world, parents are at home, maybe trying to work at the same time. This can be a very challenging environment. And they have 6 different resources about parenting techniques and supportive tips so that you can feel like you have some information at your fingertips if you're trying to parent and even homeschool and just keep your children occupied and engaged during this time where we all find ourselves at home more often. So I'd like to close out just with some support and connectivity messaging. Really, the first thing is to make sure that you are reaching out and finding those connectivity and community resources that you can. That might be having video conference with your loved ones. That might mean finding an online portal. It might be some online literature, whatever it takes for you to feel connected. Know that there are still a lot of avenues for that to happen, and it's really important that we try and minimize how isolated we might feel during this time of COVID-19 in Canada. Next but not least, you'll see this little fuel icon, and I don't mean that in the literal sense like fuel for our car, but I mean it from a nutrition perspective. So I'm a dietitian, so obviously what's near and dear to me is great nutrition, eating as well as we can. During COVID-19 situation, you might be ordering groceries, you might be shopping less often, but doing the things that we can to still eat healthily during this time. And next, you can see the little arm muscle there. And even if you're not a gym goer normally, that's absolutely fine. But I think it's also really important to remember to try and get some movement where you can at home, outside if you can go outside. That might be a short walk. It could be a few exercises at home, whatever you might want to do to make sure that you're just getting a little bit of physical activity and don't find yourself not moving a lot of the time. That can disrupt sleep. It can make you feel more anxious if you're not getting that activity that you need. The next icon you'll see on the screen looks like a little book. And what I'm really referring to here is nourishment for the mind and the soul. And that could be a hobby. That could be a book. That could be meditation. That could be an online community. So finding things that you can be doing to learn or to feel okay or to feel supported during this COVID-19 period in Canada, that looks a little different for everybody. And it's okay to just be okay. We don't have to feel like we're accomplishing something every day. But if you do want to have a new little creative hobby or something like that, or to pick up a new book, these can be great ideas to pass the time and to feel nourished. And last but definitely not least, we have a little happy face on the screen. And really what I mean by that is to trying to stay positive where we can. So obviously, there's some really tough things happening, both personally, health, economically across Canada and across the globe. But it's okay to be positive and to laugh where we can, and to find some joy with our loved ones and ourselves in the ways that we can, as we proceed through this and our lives get back to normal in the coming weeks and months. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your time today. We've covered a few different portals for resource for you, some specific resources from each of those portals, and just a few things that you might consider doing if you haven't already to, to be healthy, to maintain your rest, and to get the diabetes support that you need during this period of time. So I look forward to seeing you again on our next module that should be coming out within the next week or so. We really appreciate all that you do and what it takes to get your diabetes supported. And from your Medtronic diabetes family, know that we're here to support you through our 1-800 24-hour-a-day helpline and through the other ways that we can clinically support you. So if you have specific Medtronic questions or support that you need, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we will help you feel supported. Thanks again. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.